Hello, and welcome to another video on the channel. Today, we're going to be talking about Apex Legends Season 6 Weapons Tier List. And I have to say this, all these are my opinions, so don't hate me in the comments, and let's get right into it. Okay, to start this off, we're going to have to start off with F tier. And if you don't know, F tier are the worst of the worst. And the best is going to be S tier. S tier weapons that can easily be your main weapons and are must-picks if you find them in-game. So, at the bottom of F tier, we have the Mozambique. Even though getting an extra bullet to its ammo does nothing for this gun, because its body shot is usually only 15 to 30 damage, which is literally outclassed by every other single weapon in the game. In range, does absolutely nothing for this gun. Next, we have the L-Star. L-Star used to be quite good last season, but now, with the new meta and Evo shields, it's absolutely useless, and it's okay for starting off the game if you hot drop, but you should really pick up something else if you find it. Next, we have the D tier, and at the bottom of D tier is the P2020. Now, what's wrong with the P2020 is it has a quite good fire rate, but the damage is not so great, and the only way for the damage to be good is for you to get hammer point rounds, which is quite inconsistent in a game like this. Second for D tier is the Spitfire. Even though the Spitfire completely shreds at close range, it does absolutely no damage and the fire rate isn't really that good either. The long range on this weapon isn't good either, so drop it when you can. Next we have the RE45, which is also in D tier. The RE45 has a really good fire rate. Damage, like the P2020, is still pretty low, and long range is really bad. Next up is C tier. These weapons are in the medium zone, so they're not bad, but they're not so good either. Starting off C tier is the Charge Rifle. The Charge Rifle is really bad because you can hardly ever find it. It uses sniper ammo, which doesn't come in big stacks, and the hit scan damage is really bad. Next we have the Longbow, which basically suffers from the same points. There's not enough ammo, reload time is really long, and the damage really isn't that much. Next we have a light ammo gun, the Etrnal. And just like these other light ammo guns that I've talked about, the range on them isn't so great. But if you can get in close counters with this bad boy real fast, he can shred. Next is a shotgun, the Mastiff. And that's the problem with it, it's a shotgun. Since most of this season is going to be long range, having a shotgun is going to be pretty bad. That's why it sits pretty good at C tier. Next we have a better shotgun in my opinion, the EVA 8 Auto, which is a good shotgun, but like I said, it is a shotgun. Next we have the Prowler, and since I put the alternator before the shotguns, the Prowler does have better range, that's why it's after the shotguns. The Prowler also has burst mode and an auto mode, but the problem is you have to search for more stinking hop-ups. That's why it sits in C tier. And now the end of C tier is going to be an assault rifle, the worst one, the Flatline. The Flatline can't really be buffed in any way, that's why it's always in C tier, and it doesn't really have good range, so it's really not good for this season. Next up is B tier. These guns are quite good, but are slightly outclassed by A and S tier. Starting off the B tier is going to have to be the Sentinel. Now the Sentinel is actually quite good because it gets a lot of damage across, and with these new Evo shields you can easily get yourself to red shield. The problem is, the Disruptor ammo still has a timer, which I really hate, and this is really why I hardly ever use this gun. Next we have the Havoc, and with the new introduction of the Devotion and the Volt, there are a lot more energy guns, which means a lot more energy ammo, so the Havoc is quite good. Also, it's good at long range and close range. Next is the Triple Take. We all love this gun now because Precision Choke is already built in and can be taken off whenever you want to, which is why I'll be using so many no-scope 360s with this gun the whole season. Now, the end of B tier is going to be the Volt, the newest gun in Apex Legends, and boy does it shred. The only reason it's not in A tier is because its long range isn't really that good. And now, we've reached A tier. And surprisingly enough, the bottom of A tier is actually going to have to be the Wingman. The Wingman was actually the strongest weapon last season, but now it's at the bottom of A tier because the scopes aren't really good for long range, even though if you can really see properly, you might get a couple of easy snipes, but it's not that great at long range. But still, with its fast fire rate, lots of ammo, amazing damage with its shots, it sits comfortably at the bottom of A tier. Next we have the Hemlock. With its amazing buffs on the burst, it is actually so good, it's masked to be like a must pick. Next we have the G7 Scout, another assault rifle, but slightly outclasses the Hemlock because it uses light ammo, which is honestly more found, and it has a lot more ammo to play with, and its damage is even more. And now lastly is S tier, the best of the best. At the bottom of S tier we have the R301. Now this gun used to be an A tier last season, but with the new meta, like I keep on saying, this gun absolutely is the best because it has good single fire long range and good automatic close range. It also does a lot of damage no matter what single fire or auto fire, whatever you're putting it on. It is amazing. And the best weapon this season, in my opinion, we're not using care package weapons because those are obviously OP, but the best weapon this season is gonna have to be the Devotion. The Devotion is now not a care package weapon, and boy, it is so good. If you find this weapon in game, you could easily run 2 Devotions by themselves because they're good at long range and good at close range. And with the new introduction of energy guns, there was a lot more energy ammo running around. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, like and subscribe for more content. See ya.